This is great. It's so great. I'm so happy that you're all here. Thank you so much for joining. That's really wonderful. So welcome to the Kailua study group. You see, we're in the living room, and it is must have looked like this. I just found this on the internet. So this is a 50s living room, and the tapes that we're going to listen to today are from the 1955 series of Joel Goldsmith, and it was in his living room. So this, seems like an appropriate background here. But anyway, that's just form. It's just whatever it is for the fun. So I'm happy that you're here, that you decided to join the meditation that we're going to do first, and then we're going to listen to a bit of an introduction to the video. The video we're going to watch today or listen to is the One Power, it's like 110A. It's a total classic. You probably have heard it many times, but it's so great to listen to together. And so the transcript or the information that you got, you can use that to deepen your study. And so there's more. And so today we start with a meditation. It is a meditation that I compiled from the words in the One Power talk of Joel, and I love to share them with you. I made it to almost like a declaration, and that always works the best for me for contemplation or meditation. It's like a declaration that is so helpful, because it starts with me. I express this, I give this away, and it is my experience. I have to hook up with my experience. This is all that I have. And so that we're going to take a look at that. I see there's a chat, so I'm taking a moment. Oh, absolutely. You totally can. Totally can. So we include this, any kind of asking for help, we include in the meditation, because it's a moment of healing for all of us. We realize the totality of our being. We realize our oneness with one another. When we actually open ourselves up for a deep experience of catching a glimpse of the perfection in which we were created. And so it's a healing moment that we're in. Absolutely. It's a healing moment. This is where we use this for. Because if you recognize it, if you accept this for yourself by experiencing it, it extends to everyone. Absolutely. So the words I'm going to use, I'm going to put them on the screen. You can read with it. I will recite it. I will say the words to you, and then we have a pause, like a moment of quiet for 4 or 5 minutes or so. And I repeat this cycle a couple of times, and we'll see what happens. So I'm going to read this to you. So sit back and relax. This is your meditation time. This is the time to really deeply connect with your withinness, and feel whatever you feel. That's important. And your thoughts, well, they can just pass through you, and you let them go, like as the clouds in the sky. You let them pass by. And so the other thing is, anything that comes up is welcome, but you're not going to do anything with it. You can feel it, sure, but you let it go. So, all right, so here we go. Thank you, Father. Thank you, Father. I accept the fact that besides God, there is no power. God is the only power. God is life. life is eternal. That infinite life is my life. My name is written in heaven. The nature of God is one. God's law of love. Thank you, Father. Thank you, Father. I accept the fact that besides God there is no power. God is the only power. God is life. Life is eternal. That infinite life is my life. My name is written in heaven. The nature of God is one. God's law of love. Thank you, Father. Thank you, Father. I accept the fact that besides God, there is no power. God is the only power. God is life. Life is eternal. That infinite life is my life. My name is written in heaven. The nature of God is one. God's law of love. Thank you, Father. Thank you, Father. I accept the fact that besides God, there is no power. God is the only power. God is life. Life is eternal. That infinite life is my life. My name is written in heaven. The nature of God is one. God's law of love. Thank you, Father. Thank you, Father. I accept the fact that besides God, there is no power. God is the only power. God is life. Life is eternal. And that infinite life is my life. My name is written in heaven. The nature of God is one. God's law of love. Thank you, Father. Thank you, Father. I accept the fact that besides God there is no power. God is the only power. God is life. Life is eternal. That infinite life is my life. My name is written in heaven. The nature of God is one. God's law of love. Thank you, Father. Thank you, Father. I accept the fact that besides God, there is no power. There is only God power. God is life. Life is eternal. And that infinite life is my life. My name is written in heaven. The nature of God is one. God's law of love. Thank you, Father. All right. Thank you so much for meditating. Thank you so much. That's beautiful. Thank you. Thank you so much. So now we're going to prepare ourselves for listening. And it's always great to take a moment to look at what Joel is going to present to us. Because if you see it well, like I put up this background just for the fun of it, but the thing that is going to happen is something that is taking place right now. It has nothing to do with 1955. Joel is actually speaking these words to you right now, and that's going to affect you. That's going to have an effect on you, and it's like that is a real happening that is occurring in this present moment. That is what is happening. And that's why it's so great to feel your new experience in listening to the tape, and not seeing it or comparing it, and not anything like that. It's like, no, these words are literally for you to receive in this moment. It is given you. That's why you hear them. And that is doing the work for you. In fact, you only need to say, expose yourself to it. You allow that to affect you. And so being in that, in fact, vulnerable state of receptance, which is not vulnerable at all in the end, it is a beautiful opportunity to see what that does with you. So it's like Joel shares words, and he's trying to give it everything, because trying to express the infinite and the love of God in words, well, try that. That's not doable. In fact, you can't explain it. You cannot get this through your three-dimensional way of thinking or using words. Like, they're like not truth itself. That's why it's so hard to express yourself in this. So, and also in the listening, don't try to bring it into your three-dimensional way of thinking or your frame of reference as a human being, because that is not what is taking place, and it has nothing to do with it. But then at the same time, the question is like, how am I supposed to do this then? How can I be receptive? And that is the same as we practice in our meditations, to let your thoughts, your associations go, to just see this as a transmission of love energy to you. It's like the love of God is speaking to you, and you're able to receive that. No worries. It's like the part that is not getting it is also not important in this whole story. It's like that what recognizes it, that is the true you, so to speak. That's that is the part that is in communication anyway. But what happens when you expose yourself to this is then that is also taking place in your consciousness. And that means that you actually can have an experience of this direct communication that is in you, that is available for you. So that is what we celebrate here. In fact, that's why we come together, to have an experience of that, listening as one to what is given. So that is really great to hear that. So the first tape that we're listening to is then the 110A talk of Joel. They gave them numbers, so it's a 1955 Kailua talk, and he's introducing his students that come to his house. So apparently people that travel to Hawaii to be with him, and also people in the neighborhood that actually join him. And you see in his in the first part of the talk that he's introducing all of the infinite way to them. And then in the second part, he's actually diving straight into healing and referring to the one power. And this is great, of course, to hear this. But also what happens when you listen to it can also be this like, well, look at yourself in how much, say, which part of the day are you actually denying what is given? What are you actually denying the love of God by confirming the reality of your three-dimensional, say, way of living? And so that is always a great, maybe it's a bit devastating to see that. It's like, well, that's not it either. Well, if I make that real, God did not create that. That's what I'm sure of. Like, no, there's no accident. No, there's no emergency. No, there's no diagnosis. No, there's no this, no that. So these are the fundamental, say, ideas that you carry as a human being that are actually denied. So in order to function in this world, which is going to be harder and harder in a certain sense, is then you will have to go with that. Recognizing in the back of your mind, it's like there is something else. This is not the truth about me, but I'm actually participating in this. And coming back to myself when I take a break, a break from this. So now when you listen to this talk, you can see it too as you're saying no to the world for just a moment. It's like, well, the world can wait. I'm opening myself up. I'm available to receive like a high communication with my Creator. It is going to give me something that I take time for to receive that today. And that is my decision. So that is really helpful to see it like that, because then it's easier to say the world, oh, wait a minute, not now. My telephone, no, not now. Television, no, not now. World Championship football, no, not now. It's like, no, this is the time I reserve to say dislodge from all of this, to have a deep experience of myself, of my communication with my Creator, which I'm part of, like totally connected. But I want that in full awareness, and this is my opportunity for that. So, okay, everyone's welcome. So you can always enter in later. I will open the door if necessary. So in a moment. So I don't know what time it is now. We still have some time, so that's great. So maybe I read a little bit from what Joel is sharing with us, like I did in the. So the transcript is available in different places, so I can send it to you by email, like I did to the ones that signed up for this. But you can also find it on the website of EV Hub. EV Hub website, it has this one for a long time. It was one of the first I put up. So I have to find it real quick. 110A. So it has a kind of a search engine, the website. So here it is, the Kailua 110. So here Joel talks, and this is the third quarter of the talk. You see how drastic the change must be in your individual consciousness and mine in order that we face life with the ability to look at evil people or germs or sin, diseases, and to be able to say, so what? Don't disturb me, I'm resting. So this is what I just shared with you. So Joel is sharing this too. He's like, so what? Don't disturb me. I'm resting for just this moment. I'm going to rest. Thou could have no power unless it came from the creative principle of the universe, which is God. Like if it doesn't come from the creative principle of the universe, it has no power. It is just a reflection. It is not a fact. So now, Joel says, our healing work in the infinite way is based on that as a basic principle. That above all is the state of consciousness that must be achieved by one before they are capable of going out and doing healing work. That is why we have very few practitioners at this point of the year of grace 1955. I hope it will be different in 1956. So it's like whether or not there are many practitioners or not, that really is not so important here at this point at all. It's like, as long as you receive this message for yourself, have experiences in which it happens to you that you come into, say, grace communication, and that is all that matters. Then you are practicing, you're receiving this for yourself. And then the ones that have to come to you will be there. They will come to you. Or you end up yourself in situations that you actually have an opportunity to allow it to be healed and see it change. So there's such perfect setup for all of that, that is not my concern, if you know what I mean. It's like, now I'm just part of this great plan. And yeah, everything that is needed for it is going to be brought to me. So that is really wonderful. So that you see that with the people that you meet, you see the situations that you're going into, with the light that you bring by your recognition of the truth, that is being extended through you to everyone that you meet. So that is also not your concern. It's like that takes care of itself. That is not that you're doing something. It's not your power that you're applying. So, and that's a real relief in say, being able to feel that you don't have to do anything for this, in the sense of you don't have to go out and set up a ministry in order for this to work. No, your ministry is with you. You're the healing center yourself. When you do your exercises, when you do your meditations and your quiet times, when you allow yourself to have this grace come to you, receive that for yourself, what else is needed? Like, everything will evolve by itself. It is going to be given to you in exactly the right way for you. You know, so this is a relief in that sense. So I'm really happy that you're here. So we're going to have a short break. I always do this like 4 or 5 minutes, and then we continue with the tape where we're going to listen to. And one more thing then, for the next class, for the next tape, we're going to do it a little different. So it can be that in the email that I'm going to send you, there are some almost like exercises, or you can call it an assignment if you want. And it's just to what is given in the moment that I share with you. So it can be that read this part of the talk and what do you think about it? Or what is your experience with this? Or anyway, so something like that. You will see. All right, so we have a 4 to 5 minute break, and then I'll start the tape and we listen to that. Thank you.